Hello, everyone. My name is JP Vargas with the Ace and I podcast. To my right is Manuel Frutos, my lovely co host. This is episode 46. Yes, we are recording. And yes, we are back in the studio.
Yeah, it was funny because I was going to use your picture that you sent of your backyard. I was just going to use that as
Oh,
the
yeah.
background. Yeah, we have another episode back in JP's backyard. This time there's no chickens. We
That
killed.
was that was fun. We're gonna have to do it again when because 100-degree weather is starting consistently this week,
Yeah.
so we don't want to do that.
Well, no, we if we do it early enough, it's not that bad.
Like 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, when it's dark, we'll bring the lights. Don't worry about it.
But we'll definitely do it again before the end of the year. Maybe in the fall we'll do a couple.
I think the one thing I did notice is we probably need a better tripod for outside.
Okay, how come?
There was okay, so I was at work and I was watching the video and I have it playing in the background. So I put my iPad up and I'll look over and I'm watching it and I can see and I didn't see it originally on like the phone or I was kind of reviewing it before I put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed there's like a little bit of swaying, so I'm not really
Oh.
sure if like the wind or
There
whatever.
was a little bit of breeze, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no, it actually. If I would have thought about it, I would have done that like stabilization thing that
Oh.
the
Maybe we were swaying.
we didn't even drink that much.
Didn't.
I mean, normally in here at the end of the episode,
Yeah. Not even making sense.
Yeah.
Not completing sentences.
yeah,
Slurring, slurping,
burping.
burping, spitting. I blame my teeth. Thanks a lot, Biden.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, it's episode 46. Welcome back, folks. We're almost caught up to where we only have to do episode a week until our 50th episode on July 1st. Are we doing it on July 1st?
We're gonna do it a couple of days prior, so it will be out for July 1st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah. It'll be that Monday because July 1st is actually a Wednesday. It lined up perfectly, and
It'll be out on 8 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah, 8 a.m. on Wednesdays. I try to get that on a schedule, except for these extra episodes. They're just like, well, whenever the fuck they happen. And then the other thing too is that one we did at your place. I was like, this will be out Monday. I'm like, fuck, now it's got to be out Monday.
Yeah.
Well, everybody would have saw it after the fact. It didn't even matter. But anyway, we're back.
Yeah.
And it was out.
Yeah. Anyway, it's nice to be back.
How'd the rest of your day go, man? How was Bob's gathering?
It was cool. After you left, or actually after you dropped me off, we actually went to go eat breakfast afterwards because we like that. I had that whiskey and coffee, and like my stomach was eating itself. And him and I decided let's go get a quick bite. So we went to Letty's and had a quick brunch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When you dropped me off, I just did a couple things. I was like, you know what, I'm ready for a nap. And I knew I'd need a nap because I got up butt ass early that morning, and you got to prepare for hordes of people coming over for a party. So yeah, I napped and then got up and shit. By the time I was up and like dressed and like people were already setting up and shit, like Bob and his family were there, and it wasn't really Bob's party. Is that my phone? Son of a bitch, fucking spam. It wasn't even really for Bob, it was for his kids.
Oh.
I didn't realize that. I was like, that's odd. He's all like cooking and shit. He cooked the whole time. He made some great food.
Is that odd though? I mean, like, look at Father's Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Guys like to grill up on Father's Day, but I thought, we were going to, but I'm out of the loop as far as the
planning.
No, well, yeah, I guess that too. Like nobody gives a fuck what I think, but I'm not in that group chat either. I just assume, well, Bob's birthday's coming up, but I forgot his kids' birthdays are in June also. So anyway, but anyway, so we sang happy birthday for his kids. His oldest is 19, and youngest is Roman's age, 14. And so I forgot little Bob and Roman are around the same time. And yeah, it was a nice turnout. And I expected a bunch of Bobby's family to come. It was just his dad.
Oh.
And his daughter, because we're celebrating her birthday, she had a few friends over. And then it was the usual crew, so it wasn't like a shitload of people. So we had plenty of tables, plenty of chairs. There was plenty of food. The weather was fucking nice. Like as soon as like after the 4 o'clock mark, that's the hottest day of the year or whatever. It was cooling down. There was a nice breeze, and yeah, it was a good turnout.
Nice. Nice.
And I drank a lot of Coors Light that day.
Whoa.
Yeah, so but it was cool. Not much to report. It's the same old shit. Like we do that all the time. It's like the same.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't get sick of doing the same old thing. Just sitting around drinking whatever. But it was nice.
Oh, it sounds good, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
nothing exciting really happened.
Oh.
At least I don't think it. Oh, there is one thing. Fucking Mario. I don't know what it is with this fucking guy. He had this ice chest for the longest time, and it's like that's his like holds all his beer. That's where he takes to everybody's house, and the brackets in the back, the plastic brackets, they're broken. They're split in half. So you go to pull off the lid, and it just flies off, right?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that. I'm like, I'm just gonna order that shit for him, like a repair kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I had ordered it the week that him and Bob went to that bitch camp of theirs. And I was like, hey, it's here, but they were like, whatever. So anyway, it was at my house, and then I was reminded because two people went to go open his ice chest and did the same thing. And I was like, I'm gonna go get that motherfucker right now. So I'm looking for it. Me and him put it on. That was about the extent of the excitement for that day. Like we repaired his ice chest to where it's like as good as new now. So that was exciting. We repaired it together.
Nice. Right on.
We were
Well,
like a team.
yeah, now you don't fucking try to take the lid and you just take it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was funny because it was Rosie, and then the fuck's her name? I can't even think of her name right now. Fatty's ex. Fatty is the other brother-in-law that fuck, I can't think about Carla. And so she did the same thing. She goes, "Oh, Ooga Booga," and went flying. And I was like, I'm gonna go get that motherfucker right now. We're gonna fix this. And it's funny. Bob had told him, like, why don't you just get a repair kit for it? Like, it's not hard. It's not a lot. But Mario, it's like this is the guy. This is the guy that he'll get ice other people bring to his party, and then he'll like use the ice water the next day. That's how. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He just pours it into his ice chest, and then like he'll take it to the next day of partying. So anyway, but that was it. There was nothing exciting. I was hoping there would be something exciting, but there was no family drama. It was nice. A nice little get together. It was a perfect day.
Nice.
So
Right on.
and the next time I think we get together, obviously there's camp coming up in a couple weeks, and then we have 4th of July, which is also going to be at our house, and it's going to be fucking swampy as fuck. So I'm not looking forward to that.
No. And you're like in a nice area now, so I'm kind of wondering, are you going to get the good fireworks?
I'm not getting any.
No, I mean the neighborhood.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah.
Well, probably. There's a bunch of Mexicans that live there. Mexicans, they love fireworks.
They love the 4th of July.
Yeah, they do. They love the 4th of July more than Cinco de Mayo, which, by the way, is a fake-ass holiday made up by Americans. That's not even the real Mexican Independence Day, folks. It's like September 16th or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like, they have a battle with France and they won. It's like they they don't even celebrate it.
Yeah, well, nobody celebrates beating France. Everybody beats them.
Yeah.
Like you can't mark that as
They
a
beat
win.
themselves as fucking froggy homos.
It's like anybody celebrating beating the Raiders. It's like everybody fucking beat them.
Well, they're turning around this year.
That's not a notch. Come on, guys.
Mario says they're going all the way this year.
He said that last year and the year before.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But we'll see. You never know. They do got a good coach this year.
Yeah, no, when you get the first round pick for the past 10 years, you think you'd have an awesome team by now.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see what Kubiak does, man. I'm rooting for him, and because they're it was my grandpa's team, and I used to watch him, with him, and brings back a lot of memories. He was a diehard Raider fan.
Yeah.
he was born and grew up in Alameda, and then came down to the valley. But yeah, and my mom was a Raider fan because of it. So, you know, the kind of sentimental value, I root for him. So
Well, you had something that you were going to bring up. I know I only had like one thing topic of mine that I wanted to talk about, but I actually want to have a couple of drinks. It was a bit of a day at work today, so
I have a
take a lead, man. Go
I
ahead,
have
tell
a
me your
few
story.
stories. I have a few stories, but I'm gonna hold at least one for tomorrow because we are coming back tomorrow to record. But this morning I got up extra early because Zaire needed to ride to work, and only because Trinity needed the car for whatever reason today. So I had to get up early and go take him to work. Well, I woke up well before my alarm. I was up at 3 a.m. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck.
dude, we were
Yeah,
texting
we were
this morning. Yeah,
texting. He got up
yeah,
early too. Well, it's because our period's linked.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
why.
yeah.
but but anyway, so I'm sitting there having my coffee, looking out the window like I do. And it was dark as fuck by this time. But I was God, I'm so fatigued with the shit that goes on social media. It's like I'm ready to if we didn't have this podcast and we didn't have to like promote it and shit. But we also need good content too. But I'm getting so fatigued with the division in this country. And I like I'm getting to the point where it's like talking politics is like pulling teeth, but at the same time I get so fired up, you know? But it's not so much the politics as it is the people that are going back and forth because it's so silly. It just in the end, it's just like a bunch of kids in the fucking in the playground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so frustrating, and I'm wondering like what's the catalyst behind it? Who's driving this shit to driving people fucking bonkers? And I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So right now there's this big case going on, and you see it like all over fucking social media, no matter what the platform. It's that Carmelo Anthony kid. He's going to be on trial for murder. I think it actually started, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not following it because, in all honesty, folks, shit like this has been happening every year, and it's always the same thing. A black kid against a white kid. You know what I mean? And then it just has the masses divided. And, it's like, and I'm not an expert. It's like, you can check your own numbers. I'm actually going off of just the comments I saw today. About 90% of the people are like free mellow and he didn't do nothing. They're black. You know what I mean? Based on the comments and their profile pics, it's like, that's just how it is. And it's either because, they're on one side of the spectrum, or it's their color, or they're against the other color, or whatever the case may be. That's what you see. And then on the other side, it's like, white people. It's like, oh, string them up. It's like, fry them or put them away forever. Throw the key away. It's the same old shit, and it's like there's no originality. It's like you go down all these fucking comments of these pages, no matter what the news source is or somebody's made up page or whatever. And it's all the same shit. And I got so exhausted just reading these comments. Like it's all divided. Democrat on one side, Republican on this side, black on this side, white on that side. And I'm like, I don't care what happens in this case. You know what I mean? I just don't even care about it. You know what I mean? I don't care who was right. Because if you can have like a pound of evidence, 100 pounds of evidence, it doesn't matter. It won't change who these people go for. They're set in what they believe in. And thank God I kind of went off from that stupid debate, going back and forth. And I came across this one comment of some lady. And it was just kind of like, kind of an even kind of central position on it. And I can't remember the exact words. But I thought, okay, she seems sincere. And I decided to go on her page, kind of snoop, you know. And I went down the way, and then she was like kind of religious, and she was kind of right in the center of a lot of things, her opinions, but she was following a lot of things to the left. But it wasn't usually anything where like people get militant about it. It was just, it's like you can tell she's being fed, um, a narrative. And I got down to something she shared. And some of you may have seen this page before. It's on all of the platforms: X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. Man, I got them all phlegmy and shit. But anyway, it's called The Other 98%. Okay, I've seen it before. I've seen people posting stuff, and in all honesty, in my opinion, it's it's a very clever page because they're like rabble rousers. They purposely try to get people fired up. They kind of initiate people's anger. Especially with African Americans. They'll troll and then I notice there's two types of people that follow this, or actually there's three types. There are the ones that are pro black culture, right? I'm trying to be sensitive with this. Okay, I don't want people to take it the wrong way. And then you have the people that are like our parents' age, or maybe a half generation before us, where they still think like the mainstream media is totally legitimate. Like they couldn't possibly be compromised, right? Like they believe everything, right? And so, like these are the people I'm talking about right now specifically are the ones that like still believe in AI videos. You know what I mean? They're so easily influenced. And then you got the people that are just kind of wayward about it, and it's like, okay, that seems legitimate, but even if it's not, because this, like I said, this page posts a lot of half truths, like total, like there's misinformation. Like what they do is they get like a generalizing, position on thing, and they pick certain things for their narrative and they slap it together in a meme and they put it on there. Like people are like, yep, that's exactly right. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe people believe this shit. And they do. And these people are the people that run this page, 8.1 million followers for this page. And they just fucking just hook, line, and sinker. They get all these people. Now, obviously, I'm on the other side of the spectrum, and I try to see anything I can kind of grasp on and say, like, something I can agree with. Mm-hmm. But I look into things. I go down rabbit holes. I do research, and it's like I can see right through that bullshit because, like I said, they pick and choose what they want to put. Yeah, okay, this is true, but you're leaving out an entire, fucking collage of things that would counter that narrative. You see what I'm saying? So I was getting frustrated. Like this poor lady, she's one of those that just got sucked in, and she thinks she's right, and she's didn't seem like a bad person. So I'm thinking, okay, a lot of these people are probably like that. So I'm going down. Then I decided to go on the page, right? And I went to every like let's say the last 10 postings of this page, and I was reading comments, and I was getting sick to my stomach with the amount of comments and the like so vile, like so hateful, so mean spirited, and it reminded me of, okay, you seen all those 80 movies, or maybe specifically as a kid, you would have that one kind of oddball. He'll have a moment, and like there's all these mean ass kids around him, and they're just bombarding him with fucking like just asshole comments, and I pictured like these people that are commenting on this particular page are ones that are like they have post traumatic stress disorder. They were those kids that were picked on, and now this is their outlet to like get back at whatever bullied them. You know what I'm saying? And they're so mean spirited and just vile, and just I was getting like nauseous. I was getting so mad. I was like getting nauseous. Like, now I joke I call Governor Newsom a cunt every chance I get because honestly, I think he is a slime ball. I don't wish death on him. I want him to be humbled. I want him to understand that he is not as great as he think he is. He doesn't realize he's done some real damage to the state. And what sucks, a lot of people don't realize that as well. And they're usually fed information from pages like this, right? And so I I had to just put it away. I was like disgusted, I was like, God, like I've been on pages that were, let's say, more conservative thinking, and I do not see like that sort of thing. Um, Maybe there's a little shit talk, you know what I mean, but not to where. And by the way, this page is like there was no debating at all. I didn't see any kind of like countering of any comment. It was just like negative, 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 and just at least in other pages I've seen, there's actual debate and it kind of makes you think. It's like, oh, they got a good point. They got a good point. So I'm coming on here to say, that whoever is running the other 98% is a cunt. Yeah, I think your whole platform is a cunt. I think you're misleading a lot of potentially just good people, and you're triggering people, and then you're indoctrinating them. That's another thing I noticed. There's a lot of highly educated people. I was actually snooping on people's pages. But I remember my Uncle Mike. He's not an educated man, but he's definitely like highly experienced. He started his own business. He was a Vietnam War veteran. He was he was the airborne ranger. He's been through a lot of shit. He's in the 70s now, and he's a very smart man. And he's a conservative thinker, but at the same time, he's a conspiracy theorist. He's kind of like he got me kind of into that too. He doesn't trust the government. He doesn't trust a lot of things, but he says a lot of things that make sense. And he's like, these days I don't care how educated they are, because a lot of people have been sort of compromised very early on in the educational system. He's one of those that believes that like a certain group of socialists, maybe even communist, ideologies have infiltrated the educational system. They work their way up. They become teachers and professors, and then they prey on certain people.
We just because you're saying this about education and everything, and everyone's always encouraged to get an education. You tell your kids you want them to be something or whatever, but it doesn't. Education doesn't equal smart, and that's the one thing that people should understand. It just meant you were able to read books and you fucking, accomplish something. And granted, it does open a lot of other doors for other jobs that you probably couldn't get, but it doesn't also equal common sense. And the thing that I look at, and we've seen it, we both have worked for the city of Fresno, and any other place that you work at, the higher ups normally have an education, and all the workers are just regular people that, have experience. And so normally, like, the experienced people are the ones that are actually doing the actual fucking job. The people that make decisions, whether it's the higher ups in any kind of government or whatever, all these people have an education. All these people have graduated from somewhere for the most part. And when there's not enough money and there's not enough this and there's not enough that, all these people have made decisions above you that affect you, and they're educated. So the idea that you have an education doesn't mean shit. It's if you don't have fucking sense, if you don't have thoughts, if you can't fucking think for yourself, education just meant that you have a fucking student loan.
Yeah, not to mention there are some that never got their hands dirty either.
Yeah.
There are people that have gotten right out of college, and they've told me what to do for years.
Yeah.
And they never had any kind of life experience whatsoever.
Well, how many supervisors have you had to train?
Yeah, really.
Just think about it, dude.
Yeah,
just think about
true.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, just real quick back to this page. I think they're so evil. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whether you believe in good and evil, whatever, they're twisting a lot of people's minds. They're indoctrinating people. They're making them they're triggering the things that really piss them off, and they triggered me too. but not to where like I don't hate any of those people. I just think so many of them are just misled, and it's just unfortunate. And they use, stuff like this trial, which really it's like open and shut case. You know what I mean? You got the amount of evidence. Just let the people that are dealing with the case deal with it, and then just let the courts decide. What's going to happen to this young man. It's an unfortunate situation. I don't know all the ins and outs. In all honesty, I just don't care because, like I said, you see so much of this, but it's blown up so much on social media and the split and the divide. And these pages like this, these trolls, these rabble rousers, they feed off that negative energy and they just fucking throw gasoline all fucking day. And people are sucked in, and I'm like, I don't even want to read this anymore. I'm just turning it off. I don't hate the people making the comments. I just think they're misled.
I think they have accomplished their mission to the people that are creating these pages or whatever. It's kind of funny because we're doing YouTube, and whenever you have more and more and more people subscribing and following your page, they add all this different ads and content in between your, whatever you're putting out or whatever. And so I'm pretty sure Facebook is doing the same thing. If we can get 8 million people to fucking watch us, that'd be pretty awesome.
Well, we just got to pump out misinformation.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's here is this group who's created this, like, is it controversy? Is it fucking lie? I mean, it's all these different things just to get you going. I'm going to tell you two things right now. One, I don't know anything about this trial. I don't know anything about it at all whatsoever. When you brought it up the other day, I just agreed with you, but I have no idea what's going on with it. I've never, I don't care. Honestly, I don't even care. And the page that you're talking about, it might be all over like social media, but I've never even seen it.
Good.
And I'm not trying to like shit on your points or anything like that, but I think exactly what they are, how you feel is what they've directed you to feel. They're actually going after you so that way they can get a rise. And then they get 8 million people who are just going to fucking go into this group, and everyone's going to have their opinion, and everyone's going to be a fucking Facebook warrior, and they're going to type their shit. And then you're going to have these people that want to basically just get a rise out of you. And they'll say these things and they'll do these things on there and whatever just to either get a like or just get a reaction. But bottom line, get a reaction. And I think that's what it's come down to. When it comes to the media, I don't think they're any fucking different, dude. They're putting out whatever they want you to hear. And even like when we talk about, this trial that I have no idea about, it might be pretty basic. It might be clear cut. But then again, the thing that I kind of wonder about is that we are hearing exactly what the media is letting you know. Let this person have their day in court. Let all the evidence come out. Let the attorneys and a jury and a judge and everybody just kind of figure all the shit out, because we're not getting all the facts. We're getting the facts that they've let us have. And so to say that like something can be pretty clear cut, like, is it though? Is it? Like, we never know. How many like things that you see on social media where it's just like a half-assed story, but they don't tell you everything that happened. And one of the things, and this is an old thing, dude. This is very, very old. But the whole Rodney King thing, when they actually stopped him and he got beat and all that stuff, nobody plays the entire fucking film. You don't see what happened prior. You don't see what was going on. You don't see. Granted, did they use excessive force? Yes, they did. Did he get paid? Yes, he did. It was the extra couple of hits that fucking lost for LAPD, but the beginning part of it, you're like, well, fuck, this dude's not going down. I can kind of see why it gets to that point, but at a certain point, then yeah, it shouldn't have gone that far. They won't give you that because why? They want to have a reaction from you, and they got the exact reaction that they created.
Had a whole riot.
And that's the thing. That's where I was going to get to, is that they should be fucking in trouble for inciting fucking riots because you're promoting this.
Yep.
You're the one that's creating this. You're the one that's fucking putting it out there for people. And if people aren't willing to figure shit out or think for themselves, well, you see what you see, and well, that has to be fucking right. Well, that, you can't even, you know, no one's thinking for themselves these days, dude. You're just letting people fucking put stuff into your mind. I don't bother with any of it. I'll watch some documentaries or whatever after the fact. I might watch some, like whatever, just to kind of pass the time. I'll, make my own opinion of things. And then after, for the most part, like they've already gotten a little too far in your mind if you've given them this much time. And I think that's what they're going for. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
If you're feeling like, oh man, this is fucking way too much, well, that's what they want.
Yeah. And they got it. They got me fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hate that term. You got me fucked up. But the good thing is I have at least a little bit of a platform where 15 to 20 people are going to hear me say,
yeah,
fuck those guys. You know what I mean? You guys are pieces of shit.
Well, I encourage you not to, don't even look it up. Don't even bother. Don't even fucking waste your time with it because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be irritated by something, just watch us. We'll irritate you.
Yeah. And we'll admit we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
No, we don't know.
We
what
just
we're
have
talking about.
opinions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have assholes. And, you don't have to agree with everything I just said either. It's just, it was something to talk about. It fired me up because I'm like, God, there's so many fucking ugly people. Now, it's not like I haven't trolled, but it's more of like a joke. It's not like I really believe in what I'm fucking spewing. But most of it has like kind of like a, I don't know, like kind of a comedic sort of undertone, I mean, I guess that's what you could say. What I like to do is I'll post videos, that I get on Instagram, or I'll put it in my, what's the other thing? The story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It made me laugh, I'm like, just shake my head, that sort of thing. Like, I've been doing that for years, and I'm pretty sure people have unfriended me because they actually believe that, that's who I am. Speaking of, for years, I've been, just posting stuff just for like shtick, exactly that, just to get a laugh or a little bit of a rise out of somebody. But, and then I've met people like in real life, and they're like, you're not even funny. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. Like, I'm just posting shit. Like, they had this old delusion of the type of person I was. And then when they meet me, they're like, well, you're nothing like what I thought you were, It's like, oh, what are you going to do? So, but the same thing, it's like, I'm not, like, constantly spewing things for people just to, like, get up in arms and to hate people. And it's like, God damn, that the comments, I'm like, is this real? Like, are these people exist right now? Is this how, or, they probably wouldn't say it to somebody's face.
No.
Right? So they're just posting and they're venting, but man, that's some like evil shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, you have the security of your keyboard, so you can sit behind your desk and you can say whatever you want. Normally, you won't say these things to anybody because you're a coward.
Yeah.
And so it's okay to do it in this situation because you're safe. And I think that's kind of the problem. That's where we've gotten to with social media and people, just kind of throwing whatever the fuck they want out there. But and none of it has to. But people, again, it goes back to you having to do the homework to think, are you going to really let it bother you? I mean, that's what it comes down to for me. Like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I'll sleep like a baby tonight. I definitely want to use this at my platform here, our platform. Sorry, to just express my opinion on the matter. And, I'd like to just influence anybody just to be, a little bit more thought out, and a little nicer, understand there is the opposite way of thinking of things. And I don't know, just kind of maybe meet halfway sometimes, you don't got to be like, fuck that, fuck them. It's like, it's a very ugly thing, that people are so polarized like that right now in the world. And, I've heard people blame Obama for starting it. I heard people blame Trump. But in my opinion, they've been bashing Trump before he even ran. You know what I'm saying? Obama bashed him. They have it on video. He bashed him when he was like just thinking about running.
Well, people have always been shitty. We're just seeing it online now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's another thing. It's like it's under a microscope.
Mm-hmm.
I think social media has just been like it's brought so much exposure to how ugly the world really is. Well, then you add the fact that our population's growing, we're getting people from other countries with anti-American sentiment, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? It's like this is just a you think we're a melting pot before? We're fucking piping hot melting pot right now. So something's got to give, and I'm worried. I'm worried about what's going to happen with this polarization and shit, and it's not going to change. Even if Trump dies or he, once he's out of office, people are going to be the same. They're still going to think the same way about the opposite side of the political spectrum. In all honesty, I think we need more political parties, and I think people need to, I don't know, they need some education. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I'm not talking about just going to college. I'm talking about, let's read more. Let's get some philosophy and, read some psychology and like approach things smarter because the opinions are like childish. It's very like I pictured like a fucking monkeys in a zoo throwing shit at each other. You know what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
it is to me. So anyway, enough about this bullshit.
Well, I kind of given up on people, with like, I mean, when it comes to certain things, like I'm like, really, your argument is this, when it comes to certain beliefs and stuff. I mean, I'm just like, and I don't know, maybe it just like stems from being an atheist or something. Maybe, I've had a long time of just like, well, let them do what they do, that kind of idea. And I think I've been okay with it for a very long time because of that. I don't have to convince you of my understanding of things. All I have to do is be happy with what I understand or what I believe.
Yeah.
And so once you get to that point, you're not bothered by what other people want to do. Every now and then it can get to you. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's just like, oh, I'm totally immune to this whole fucking thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just more of, do you? How does this affect me kind of situation? Does it? Does it not? People are going to fucking be stupid all the time. And, that's what it is, man. Like, you can't fucking fix it.
Right.
And,
Anyway.
and the better part is don't even try because you're not going to get nowhere.
Yeah. Well, especially me.
Yeah.
Nobody values my opinion.
What did you say? No, dude. So it's kind of funny because you talked about this trial. Honestly, like I said, I wasn't like trying to shit on your point, but I don't know anything about it. I mean, seriously, I don't really know anything about it. I try to stay away from certain things that, hey, it doesn't matter. Like for me personally, it kind of didn't matter, and so, but I do, end up kind of in that same situation with you. Over the weekend, I watched. I don't know if you had brought up Michael Jackson going to see that movie or whatever, and recently Netflix put out a documentary. And I'll watch documentaries, and I just kind of take whatever I take from it or whatever. And it's called Michael Jackson: The Verdict, and it's like a 3-part series or whatever. And I was watching it, and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, oh, this is, how long has this guy been dead? We're gonna dig up another story and just kind of whatever. But
Is it a fairly new one?
it just barely came out recently.
So they're just probably trying to capitalize on
The movie coming out,
right.
Yeah, yeah. And I kind of figured that much.
Cunt.
I mean, he's it's still in the news. There's a new movie coming out, and
Yeah.
JP, and you and your wife went and saw it and stuff, and so yeah, sure enough, somebody put out a documentary over something that happened back in 2003 to 2005 ish or whatever during the trial, and I'm watching it, and I just kind of remember. I mean, I was younger at the time, obviously, over 20 years ago, I was over 20 years younger. And I just kind of remember half-assed kind of paying attention. Oh, yeah, Michael Jackson's being looked at for like child molestation and some other shit. I don't remember. And, at the time, there was no Facebook. There was no social media. A lot of it was just the media. And, you heard what you heard or whatever. So get to watching this documentary. Well, part of it is it's warming up. I don't want to go outside. So I'm just going to sit down and put something on, just kind of, half-ass watch something. And if it catches my attention, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Uh, you know, the other thing too is anytime you fucking leave home, it costs money. Like you go anywhere, dude, you end up fucking buying something, spending money. I don't have any money. I don't want to spend money. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to stay home. Excuse me. Netflix is already paid for, so I'm going to watch it. Sorry, Bob. And so then I put this whole documentary on and I get to, start watching it or whatever. And, my first feeling is this, like the guy's dead, leave him alone, right? And then it gets a little bit interesting. They start talking about, in 1993, he had this first accusation of child molestation and it kind of was swept under the rug. He paid out $20+ million. And then, I mean, like most people get molested, they don't get any money. You know what I mean? Like if it were to happen to me and it's like some fucking family member, I'm not going to see $1. But like when Michael Jackson does it, yeah, you get paid.
I'd let him molest me for that much.
Dude, yeah, right? Molest away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't work anymore.
JP!
That was pretty good. And so, like 10 years later, 2003, there's another family. And, this dude kind of has the same story or whatever. So, like, a part of me, I'm watching this thing, and a part of me is like, it's Michael Jackson. Everybody knows him. He's known fucking internationally. Like it's like the king of pop. And you're like, okay, well, fuck. I don't want to believe that this dude was doing stuff, And you start hearing the story, and I'm like, well, fuck. It sounds like he's kind of guilty. Like maybe he might be, And then they go through the whole like case, and the attorneys are going back and forth, and they're telling their stories, and it's 20 years later, and I'm like, well, fuck. I think he did it. I started looking at this, and I'm like, well, I think he did this. First of all, like this guy. And the funny part was it wasn't like the evidence and everything that kind of happened that made me believe that he did something wrong. First of all, there's something that came up in 1993, then 2003. And, in the beginning, you start to think like, well, this guy has money. Obviously, he's a target for lawsuits, right? Or for any kind of thing. They're always trying to get your money. And, maybe that was the case. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's what's going on. And then I start thinking about it, and like this dude in like Santa Barbara, he had his Neverland Ranch. He builds a fucking amusement park and a zoo on his property, and he's inviting all these fucking kids over.
Well, I have a zoo on my property. You just saw him Saturday.
Dude, I did, man.
Go ahead. I couldn't help it. I hadn't said that.
Well, no, dude. I was like, all right, just making sure you weren't because Michael Jackson is accused of a pedophile.
Pedophilia?
Hey, you get a fucking Ferris wheel over there, I'm gonna look at you differently. Hey,
I just have dogs and cats. There's nothing abnormal about that.
Draw the line at a zoo. Anything more than that, I'm like, fuck this guy. So anyway, he puts a fucking amusement park and a fucking zoo at his place, right? And then he has this huge fucking mansion of a place and all these rooms and everything. And so they're talking about this guy is like, hey, I'm bringing in a bunch of people. He likes to surround himself with kids, and he might just be doing like the Good Samaritan thing and like giving back to the community or whatever. And so I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I mean, you got $1 bazillion. You don't have to build a fucking zoo and a fucking amusement park. Like if, you got these Make-A-Wish kids or whatever, you go to the hospital and fucking sign some autographs and all that stuff. And so, like you could do that. I mean, also too, you could probably just buy some like Disneyland tickets and be like, here, your family can go before you die or whatever. And so like, I'm thinking like that could also work. And then it starts getting deeper into the story where it's like, yeah, no, Michael had our family over. And then he was like, hey, I'm going to go ask your parents if you can sleep in my bed. I'm like, oh man, this is getting weird. And that wasn't like, I'm still in my mind, I'm like, this is like the biggest star, like this is like a fucking icon, internationally known. So I still want to believe like, oh, maybe he's just like a really nice guy. And like my world is different than your world, right? Like I'm nobody, and maybe for you, you're thinking this is like something. And then I'm watching, it's like episode 2 and I'm like, oh no, I don't know, man. This is kind of weird. And it fucking finally hit me, dude. I'm like, this dude's guilty. Because like, and this was the realization for this whole thing. I'm like, this dude wants to hang out with kids, right? And you know they're annoying as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're like maybe like directly yours.
I fucking hate kids.
Yeah, no, exactly, dude. Like anybody who wants to be around kids that much, you're fucking weird. So
Yeah.
like that's when I realized, oh yeah, no, this dude is up to something because nobody likes kids. Fuck them, especially like kids you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was like the fucking like point for me where I'm like, yeah, Michael Jackson's up to some shit. And then, they tell the story of 1993. It all went away, 2003. But then this family, they're pretty clever in court because this family was like known for shit. Like they had sued J.C. Penney's for some stuff. And the mom was like, oh no, the fucking security guard tried to molest me. So they had like this like fucking like story of like, this is what we do. So I think that's why he got off on this whole thing. Like he was like acquitted because like they weren't very credible also.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I think everybody was guilty. The parents were guilty. And Michael Jackson, I feel like he was guilty.
I think the kids were guilty. I think they loved it.
Yeah. I mean, you let me pet a
I wasn't there. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, I mean, first of all, I just got off. See, here's the thing. It was like mom was getting like fucking jewelry and money and the family was getting paid. And, he's like, hey, I want your kids to fucking be in my bedroom and stuff at nighttime. And they were like, whatever. So he would be like, hey, go ask your mom if you could sleep in my bed. And mom's on the fucking Ferris wheel and she's already having a fucking good time. She's like, yeah, go do whatever you want. And, like I'm fucking eating cotton candy. Like
Right.
your kid comes over to you when you're having a good time. You fucking tell him, go play in the street.
Sure, MJ. You could touch my nuts for a Snickers.
And so that's the thing, dude. It's like, the parents were fucking overwhelmed with all the other like nice things that are happening that you're like, do whatever you want, son. Do whatever you want. You're gonna be fine. And so
that's
send
their cash cow.
They send their kid off to like go get molested by Michael Jackson. Meanwhile, you're like over here you're holding a fucking chimp while you're riding a fucking Ferris wheel, eating cotton candy, petting a goat. And so like, I think the parents also knew what they were signing up for. Like,
that's sick,
dude. Yeah, you basically like hoard out your kid
well,
to Michael Jackson.
How many stories have you heard? Like, I watch a lot of documentaries too, a lot of historical things where, during the Depression, during certain times where like things were tough, like people are selling their fucking kids to the farmer next door for a fucking cow or a goat. They're like, they had no money.
They're Mormons.
And they're fucking giving their 11-year-old daughter, some fucking 65-year-old man. And next thing you know, she's popping out babies. You know what I mean? It's just, people are weird like that. I can tell you right now, I would have never, ever given one of my kids up in that situation.
Dude, that's what I was thinking.
I would have been a criminal back in the day. I would have just steal what I wanted. You know what I mean? And some guy came to me for my daughter. I'd fucking take that motherfucker out and say, no, this is my farm now.
And the thing too is that I'm watching this, and I think he was kind of like picking and choosing like the right people that fit the right profile for this kind of stuff. And
That
it was
could
like,
be.
Mom, dad wasn't around. Normally mom is needing something. The kid also on top of that is like some Make-A-Wish kid. So like if you molest him, he's gonna die anyway.
Well, people like that, like him, are probably well calculated.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's like he was kind of like, it looked like he was going for certain like he was a predator finding the right prey that just fit that profile of like, okay, well, I'm gonna get away with this. Mm-hmm. And you have enough money and you have enough fucking people telling you, yeah, Michael, you're good. Then yeah, I mean, obviously, you start thinking your own bullshit or whatever. And I think so what kind of set off the whole thing in 2003? There was a huge interview that he did, and there was some like guy from England who had interviewed Princess Di, and he kind of like put her on the spot and like, I don't know if made her look dumb's the right fucking way to say it or whatever, but like this dude, Michael was like, oh, hey, good enough for Princess Diana, good enough for me. So let me get this guy over here. I want him to interview me. But he didn't realize that this dude was kind of like a fucking shit interview person or whatever, who was like, just like causing stuff. So
he probably worked for the other 98%.
He probably started it. And then fast forward 20 years later, like I fucking felt sick to my stomach. He just fucking irritated you. And so, but this dude goes over there. He's interviewing Michael Jackson, and he's going to start asking all these fucking questions. And then, sure enough, Michael Jackson goes and says, "Hey, yeah, no, I sleep with kids." And sure enough, the fucking hey, could you put this down louder next time?
Sorry.
And so, I'm gonna talk to your dad. When we get done with this fucking episode, I'm calling your dad.
Make some noise.
No, so, but yeah, this dude like went out there, did the interview, and he's kind of like picking at like almost to the point where like I want this dude to hang himself with his own fucking stories or whatever. Sure enough, Mike comes out and he's like, "Yeah, no, I fucking have kids in my bed all the time," and everyone else is like, "Well, that ain't normal," And so it started this whole big thing. This dude had enough money. His attorneys, the jury. I mean, there was so much shit, man, that there was enough to create doubt to go, maybe he didn't do anything. And then they get the kid from Home Alone. He's like, he never touched me. I was like, well, yeah, no, you're pretty fucking big. Like, he's not going to get the kid from Home Alone. He's going to get the kid that's about to die.
Mm.
Anyway, if you haven't checked it out, Michael Jackson, The Verdict, it's on Netflix.
I might watch it tonight because that sounds very interesting.
Dude, you got to watch it, man.
Yeah.
You got to watch it, yeah.
What's it on?
On Netflix.
Okay, perfect. I have that.
What's it on?
I paid it.
It's
It's on Fresno.
I put it on Fresno. That's what I was going to say. Because you're like, what's that on? Anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out, man.
Check it out. It's worth the time. 3 episodes, about an hour long each. And then you watch it and you're just like, I don't know. Because, again, it's Michael Jackson. You don't want to believe that he's guilty of stuff. But I blame him and I blame the parents.
Yeah. You triggered a memory for me.
Is it when Michael Jackson touched you?
No, but I think I had a near miss. Actually, I'm going to split this up. I have 2 stories kind of revolving around the same era. I'm going to save maybe tomorrow or maybe another day, but I went to kind of a 6th grade camp. It was done by YMCA.
Was that Neverland Ranch?
It was called Y Camp, right? And it was up some lake. I can't remember the lake's name, to be honest. We went to some lake. My mom had signed me up for it. And I think only because she worked for the sheriff's department, and she had heard about it through a friend of hers who was also a dispatcher. And their stupid fucking kid went too, but it was a girl. So I didn't know her. So I had fun. We went up there. They bussed us. We were at some school. We got picked up. They bussed us up to some camp, and it was like a 4-day camp at some lake. And I had the greatest fucking time. Given I'm 6th grade, I'm kind of dopey, and I remember my best friend at the time. He couldn't go because he was kind of sick, and which I'll talk about him later too. But anyway, he was sick at the time, and I was like, that was kind of bummed out he was going. But I went. I met some new friends. All they were temporary friends. I did meet one guy that we were actually end up being friends all the way through high school, and that was where I'm splitting off the story. But so Y Camp, it wasn't like we had to wear uniforms or anything, but we were kind of put under certain counselors, and they had names like they were made up names. It wasn't even real names like. This guy's name is Donkey. This guy's name is my guy was Skywalker, my counselor, and I thought he was a cool guy. He seemed like a nice dude, and we had about 5 of us, and we stayed in a particular cabin, and they had all these activities. We would all eat together, at the mess hall or whatever they called it. They had swimming tests. If you passed a certain swimming test, you can go out on the boat on the lake. This lake wasn't first of all, it was beautiful. It was nice and green, up here in the Sierras. I don't know where we were because it was I guess I was 6th grade. I didn't know anything about it. But the lake was so calm. It wasn't like Shaver or Bass where, it's like windy. There's a bunch of boats and shit. It was kind of secluded. So I passed my swimming test, and I was able to go out with a friend of mine on a canoe, and we fucking spent hours out there in a canoe going back and forth, back and forth. It was just so peaceful. And those poor fucking kids that couldn't swim, they had to stay within this certain, area, like a docked area. It was kind of blocked off, and it was very shallow. But anyway, all the camp counselors just seemed really nice, and they seemed like they loved kids, and we would do the s'mores thing at night, campfire, and what happened was each camp counselor would say, okay, we got to do something for the talent show, right? So what he did for our little group was we're going to do the Lay's commercial. Remember, no one can eat just one.
Yeah.
No one can, I can, no one can. And we did Lay's brown potato chips. So we had this little singing thing. It was like almost a cappella, only because everybody was off key, but we ended up winning. So it was just a great fucking time, right? I thought I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. I didn't see anything I didn't see any like kids not having fun. But there was this one night, and it was dark as fuck up there at night. They didn't even have the trails open, like lit for going down the bathroom. If you were to walk out this cabin and you had to go to the bathroom, they only had like a centralized bathroom area for these, I don't know, 8 cabins, each cabin. And they split them up, boys and girls, by the way. And they would have one bathroom with so many amount of toilets for boys and girls. And I remember I had to pee real bad. I got up. It was dark as shit, and I could see the light from the bathroom. And I walked down, and
What happened, dude?
what?
No, like what happened? I'm all fucking like waiting.
Oh, well, I'm getting to it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm getting to it. So I had walked down, and I was kind of scared. I almost heard the, the Friday the 13th shit. I was like kind of scared. But I heard somebody fucking walking behind me. And I kept turning around, and I didn't see anybody. I was like, okay, now I'm really freaked out. So I went down there, and I peed as fast as I could, and I ran up that fucking hill, got back in the bed. But I saw that the my camp counselor, Skywalker, had opened the door. So he wasn't in the cabin with us. He was out and about. And it made me wonder if he was following me.
Mm.
So I'm laying there, and I'm just kind of freaked out, and I can hear other kids snoring. Like I said, there was about 5 of us in that cabin, and it was dark. I couldn't see shit. Anyway, I felt like this on my shoulder, and I was like, just kind of. He goes, JP. I was like, yeah. He's like, are you okay? I go, yeah. He's like, okay, I'm just checking. Right? And I didn't think anything of it. I thought, okay, he was just concerned. Because, it's like I was totally amphibious to what was going on. Anyway, go ahead. You have something to say?
Yeah, dude. You went to Camp Prevert. And so when you got home and your mom was all mad that she had to return jewelry and free clothes.
What?
Like my kid didn't get touched. So I had to fucking send all this shit free shipping.
Well, that wasn't the punchline. I still have more.
Okay.
Anyway. So other than that weird little experience that I had, which I didn't think anything like diabolical was happening. Well, we said our goodbyes. Everybody's crying because everybody had such a good time. Well, it turned out there were a couple, and I remember the names of these counselors. Well, I don't remember them to this day, but my mom had deputy sheriff come talk to me about 3 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, and he's just asking me, did you know this person? I go, oh, I remember a camp counselor. So there was 3 camp counselors. And I remember one of them was this little Asian dude with the flat top. And then there was a black dude. And then there was like this skinny white guy that was, I don't even know if he was a camp counselor. He was like the head of the mess hall. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they were all young. They were all like, college age or maybe a little less. You know what I mean? I felt safe or whatever. Well, what had happened was some kids were touched inappropriately, boys. And mine wasn't part of that little investigation. And I never said anything. Maybe I should have, but like I was kind of scared. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" So they actually had 3 arrests from the boys' side, and I think one from the girls' side. But like they had a ring of perverts that were
Oh,
fucking with little kids because it was all sixth. It was like fourth to sixth grade.
it was like a church camp.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they were renting it. It was like and I'll get to that in a story. I'll probably talk about this maybe next week. The second part of this story, but yeah, we had a fucking little pervert ring, at my YMCA camp, my sixth grade camp. I did meet like a friend that I ended up being friends with him for a long time, at that camp, and then
Hi, Mark.
yeah, no, it's not even that fucking guy.
Camp Prevert.
No, but I'll talk about that another day. I'll the whole branch off of this one. But yeah, it's weird. Like, so I was touched, but it was more like, "Are you okay?" Isn't that weird? Like I'm just
Yeah.
laying there trying to go to sleep, and then you feel this, and he's like, "JP, yeah, are you okay?" Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that motherfucker was following me down in the bathroom, but I had
Yeah.
went in there, fucking pissed us. I probably fucking pissed in my balls. Who knows? And then I fucking jetted back up because I was scared. And so I was wondering if that motherfucker was like tracking me. Like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this little chubby kid in the bathroom. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know. Like I think it might have been a near miss thing. So it was kind of a weird thing. And I do remember like key parts of that. And most of it was good. It was a good experience.
Judging by all those pictures you showed on fucking Facebook of you younger, dude, and the way you were dressing,
That was cute, huh?
yeah, it was your fault.
You little slut.
Remember
I
that-
was a cute little kid because I know this old man thought I was a little girl.
yeah, you're peacocking. You pervert.
Weird shit, man.
Yeah.
I was never well, like I said, I'm gonna talk about this.
You're gonna
in-
take one for the team. Mom was gonna get all kinds of free shit,
yeah.
and you're like, I'm okay.
I'll talk about something a little bit more close and personal coming up, and I promise I won't string it out like 4 or 5 episodes because I want this story to be a little fresh in your mind. But give it 2 more episodes, I'll talk about it probably next week. Anyway, that was like a lot to get off my chest.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Last time when you got molested,
Well, it's funny. You were talking about like the molestation, kids getting touched and stuff. I've never had the luxury,
yeah,
but that was
it was like apparently I wasn't cute enough.
yeah, that was the close. No, I think I just got a near miss. I think
Yeah.
my instincts kicked in, and like it could have been a lot more serious because I don't know how those kids were touched or what exactly happened. How do I know they weren't getting like cornered in the bathrooms?
Yeah,
So I don't know if that was the fuck center for little kids. I don't know. It's just it's bizarre because I had like more good memories from that period of my life than anything else. So when I heard all that, I was like, "Whoa, that's fucking crazy."
you were probably just annoying.
Yeah, I'm sure I
Yeah,
was.
that's what it came down to. There was
Yeah,
like, I don't want to fuck with this kid. He's
Skywalker
yeah,
was like, "Oh, I'll tame him,"
Like-
and then I just totally fucked it up for him.
I was gonna do this. This kid kept fucking talking. He wouldn't shut the fuck up. It's like, never mind.
I
never
believe
mind.
it. I was, I get a lot of this. And it's funny. I still hear it to this day. The little brother in 16 Candles.
Oh yeah,
That was me. Sofa City, sweetheart. That's me. Pretty much. I mean, that guy was me. That's the white doppelganger of me.
Well, fast forward like 40 years later, and it makes for a pretty decent podcast.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, dude.
I guess. But you know what? It's like I totally forgot about that shit until you started talking about Michael Jackson touching kid. And what was his? Was it all like little white kids?
No, they were like different.
I didn't
It
know if he had a
matter.
type
No,
or
no,
what.
He didn't have a type. The type was like 12. Is that a type?
Yeah, I think he was definitely had a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And there are people that defend him that say, it's like he has PTSD because his dad used to beat the fuck out of him. Forced him at an early age to be a performer, and he really didn't get to enjoy his childhood. So he's like, in his brain, he's still stuck at 12, and he just wants to play with kids and enjoy his childhood because he's got money and he can, give them, whatever. He's trying to buy all his fucking little 12-year-old friends, but that's weird. He's got to understand that that's weird.
No, it's. I mean, your heart might be in the right place, but your fucking junk should be on them. Yeah. And so, like,
why is he walking around naked?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like, you had this kind of money. You could have just sent the fucking family to Disneyland. You don't have to make an amusement park at your home.
Yeah.
If you want to send them, if they want to go to a fucking zoo, there's a Chaffee Zoo. Just go to Fresno, or, I'm pretty sure San Diego was probably nice back in the day, even then. Mm-hmm. But, like, the whole idea of, like, no, I want all these fucking kids around me, you're weird. And I mean, I know, like, there's, like, wanting to give back to the community, but like I want to do it from a distance. Like if I ever made enough money where I can like help people, I'm gonna write a check. I don't want you near me. And the fact that it happened in 1993, you would think like I was already a fucking target of something. Mm-hmm. Do you really want to continue to do that? Do you really want to fucking continue to be like, you know what? It's cool. I almost got into some trouble and I was able to pay my way out of it. Should I be doing the same fucking thing over and over? Like, don't you think it might come up again at some point? Like, you know what? I'm good. Let's take down the fucking, all the rides. You know what? I'm going to go to the hospital and just hand out fucking Disneyland tickets. You can go over there. If Walt Disney molests you, that's not my fucking fault. I mean, right? Like,
yeah,
dude, I mean, I don't know. Like, it probably, for most people, it only takes like one time for some bad shit to happen for you to learn this is not a good idea. And he continued. Excuse me. Sorry, Bob. Like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
First of all, kids are annoying.
Yeah, they are.
I mean,
especially Bob's kids.
Dude, when you have, happy birthday, little Bob. And so, like, when you have, like, your kids, you put up with them and you deal with them and you do this and do that and whatever, they're yours. Grandkids, you have them for a little bit, you fucking play with them, you send them home, boom, done. You've done your part as a grandparent. Other people's kids, I'm not like, hey, do you want to come over? Hang out with the grown man?
I don't even want them under the same roof.
And then on top of that, like, fucking mom, hey, go ask your mom if you could. You could sleep in my bed. A grown ass fucking man. Can you sleep in my bed? And then, Mom, can I go? Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Go. Can't you see I'm petting a monkey? Like, go do whatever you want. Fucking go hang out with me. Mike wants to watch you.
Oh
cool.
God.
And it's like, Zoe, my dog. I know how fucking bad she is.
Oh, so I'm like, she's a sweet girl.
She's a motherfucker, dude. I'm telling. Anyway, so like. I'm like, hey, JP, do you want to watch her? Yeah. And you're like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, all right, cool.
I didn't touch her inappropriately.
Oh, man. You know what, dude? Thanks for
watching. She didn't sleep with me, though.
And even if you did, thanks for watching her. But that's the thing, man. It's like all these fucking people, like, you had to know, man. Like, you're a fucking parent. Like, what would you do if some fucking grown-ass person was like, hey, let me take your little kid over there?
Fuck that.
And this is 2003, and you have a fucking, like, some shit that happened 10 years ago. Like, would you be like, yeah, that's cool?
I mean, I'm charging you just to ask me that, and that's it.
And then they're dangling fucking bracelets and fucking all kinds of nice shit in front of...
Was that what he did?
Well, the one in 1993, they were in Vegas, and they had, like, fucking... Dude, you got to watch it. Well, they were in Vegas, and he was like, he brings this one family, and oh, we're family, fucking does the whole Michael Jackson thing, and he's like taking care of everybody, and hey, you know what, whatever you want, it's on me, right? Because it's Michael Jackson. And so then he is like, kind of trying to put a guilt trip on mom about like, hey, let little Jimmy come fucking sleep in my bed. No, that doesn't sound, no, but we're family. No. But here's a fucking diamond bracelet. All right, yeah, that's cool. Go ahead. And that's when it fucking changed. And it was like, he was just like fucking bribing these parents who were just fucking as guilty as this dude. Like, I think that they created enough doubt in court where they're like, I don't think so. But I think so. And not only that, like, watch it. Make your own opinion. Don't go off of what I'm saying because I'm fucking full of shit all the time. But the thing is, the parents knew what they were doing. Michael knew what he was doing, and you're the fucking king of pop. You're putting yourself into this position. You're a fucking target. You might want to help people, but there's other ways to help people. You can donate. We talked about the United Way a long time ago. Go fucking, he didn't look like a very athletic guy. So you probably just want to like donate money. You're not going to go play football with him. And like, so like, I think everybody knew their part, and it was kind of fucked up because at the end of the day, the kids are the victims.
Mm-hmm.
But mom and dad, normally dad's not around on all these situations. And so mom knows what she's doing. Mike knows what he's doing. It's kind of fucked up.
It is.
Yeah, no. And not kind of, it's very fucked up.
And it's bizarre to me because, like, I don't... Like, I know everybody's got their sexual fetishes and they got their attraction to certain things. That is just something that just blows my fucking mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I kind of cringe when I hear stuff about Epstein, X-Files, Epstein X-Files. I just fucking cringe. I'm like, how does this fucking happen? You know what I mean?
Remember the fucking spokesperson for Subway got in trouble?
Yeah.
Like he was going,
Jotted.
Yeah. Yeah, that
What a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, if your like fucking thing is kids, like, why not find a midget?
Yeah.
Like, if it's like somebody little, like at least they're fucking grown.
And what was he doing? Was he trolling online?
No, dude, he was like fucking planning trips to like the fucking Philippines or Thailand or some shit.
No, see, I don't know anything about it. I just
Yeah.
know he got in trouble, but it was underage?
Yeah, it was underage,
okay.
and yeah, so like...
Is he out of jail yet?
I don't think he's gonna be. I'm not really sure. I haven't heard anything on him. I'm still waiting for the documentary. Hey, hurry up, Netflix.
Yeah, hurry up.
I want to find out what happened to that fat fuck that lost all that weight eating fucking Subway sandwiches.
Yeah.
Because I'll eat Subway every now and then. Not a single fucking pound. I don't get it. I also don't fuck with kids because I hate them.
Yeah. God, people are so fucking... You see what I mean? Thanks a lot. The other 98% creating a bunch of fucking weirdos.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'll never have any kind of fucking crime with children because I don't want these motherfuckers around me. So if I ever am on the news that like something happens because I punched a kid.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
If this is going to be any kind of abuse, I'm beating the fuck out of
Yeah,
him.
no, it's not molestation. I fucking molested his face. Boom.
Quit crying!
Yeah.
What? No, you can't play video games.
With the right hook.
God.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Speaking of weirdos, I wanted to talk about this last week. Or not last week, Saturday. About my neighbors.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
I have, for the most part, the majority of my neighbors, my new neighbors, because I've been there 3 months now.
They didn't molest you, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
But the guy across the street came over to introduce himself, which I love that. When people come over to introduce themselves, that's they're stand-up people. I was working on a sprinkler, and he said, hey, he didn't even know I guess he was going through some health issues. He was in the hospital. And he didn't even know the people that lived there last time had left. So it's like, and he was like, yeah, I saw a for sale sign, then it was gone. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And so I was like, yeah, introduced myself. He was a good guy. And then...
you gave him stickers?
Not yet. No, this is before we had the stickers. So the people on the, what should I say, the west side of me. Very nice. You got a mother, a daughter, and some grandkids, but the daughter actually owns the place. And I think the daughter had inherited from her dad, and had mom move in. I shouldn't be telling all their business, but anyway, good people. They've given me a couple plants to, put in my backyard. I appreciate it. And they're actually going halfers on that fence that needs to get fixed.
Yeah.
So whenever I get it fixed, they're going to help me with it. But when my wife... Go ahead.
They brought you a chicken as a peace offering?
No, that was the people in the back.
Yeah, dude.
I've met her too.
Yeah.
She gave me the person in the back. I was doing some yard work, and she's, oh, hi neighbor.
You want some eggs?
Yeah, she gave me a dozen eggs, which was really cool. Her name was Brittany. And
Okay.
we just kind of made small talk, and I actually
Hippies.
gave her a couple. Sorry, Bob. Give her a couple bucks, just in return.
Oh, that,
But I did have a weird encounter with the people to the east, right? So if I'm looking out the street, there are people to my right. And my wife and I just moved in. It was our first week, and we had gotten our cameras installed. And I can't remember, Naomi and I went somewhere, and she goes, there's somebody, we were going back home. She goes, somebody came up to our front door with a bag. I'm like, oh, really? And apparently they came a second, like twice. And then we got home, and then this person came again. It was a girl. And she was from that neighbor to the east, and she had a bag of lemons. And I was sitting at the kitchen table. Naomi had went to the door and had this whole conversation, had it like recorded and stuff. And she go, "Hey, we brought you lemons from her tree or whatever, like peace offering or whatever, being a neighborly or whatever." They had this little conversation. Basically, she was asking. I guess her dad was there doing a bunch of yard work and trimming trees and shit, and he had to get on our roof of our garage to get a certain area, and we're like, yeah, fuck yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out. And so we had a bunch of lemons. I was like, well, that was nice of him, and Naomi was like, yeah, she seemed nice, blah blah blah. Well, I had figured, okay, well, I'm gonna give him something. Maybe I'll give him some books or something. I just never got around for it. Well, then one day, it was probably with the next week, I was doing some yard work, and I had to go to the hardware store because I was fixing a bunch of shit at the house. And I noticed the guy there, I'm assuming it was her husband, was doing, yard work in the front. Anyway, I just like got out of the car and I decided to walk over and introduce myself. Man, the look this guy gave me, like I ruined his whole fucking day. He was like, you know what I mean? It looked like he was like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? Anyway, I said, hi, my name's JP. I'm your new neighbor. And Naomi was actually in the garage. She was doing some stuff. My wife, Naomi. Anyway,
karate.
this guy had like zero social skills. He was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Nice to meet you. And then he's like, are you from Fresno? Which, when he said that, I was like, I knew automatically he wasn't from Fresno, right? But apparently he had given me a little bit of small talk. No, actually it was his wife that said they just moved in October. So they just bought the house, moved in October. We moved in March. But he asked me if I was from Fresno. I was like, yeah, we used to live, kind of Blackstone, Clinton area, and, we bought this house, Try to give him a story. He didn't seem very interested. He didn't seem very friendly at all. I was like, okay, well, it's nice to meet you. Blah, blah, blah. I kind of walked away. He was just kind of quiet, kind of weird. I got a bad vibe from this guy. Anyway, which is a total contrast to his wife. His wife, I'm assuming it's his wife, seemed very sweet, kind of outgoing, whatever. Anyway, a couple days ago, my wife had left for work, early in the morning. I was leaving, and this was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I was leaving for Uber. I was backing out, and she was in the front yard, and she was doing some, I don't know, gardening or something.
Hoeing.
Yeah, she was hoeing. No, but she was like down on her knees, and she was down like putting flowers in or some shit. And I rolled down my window, and I was like, "Hi, good morning." And she gave me this look like totally disgusted, like, I had molested her kids. I don't know. It was weird, and I didn't get any kind of good morning or anything back.
She read the books.
And it was straight. I hadn't given her the books yet.
Motherfucker.
Can I tell the story, please? So anyway, I called Xfinity. No. No, okay, so I backed up, and I had this bad, like, God, what the fuck did I do? I remember calling Naomi. I'm like, okay, here's the last two interactions I had with these fucking people. By the way, that initial interaction that Naomi had with her, that was it. She hadn't talked to the dude. She hadn't, talked to the girl again, So actually, Naomi hasn't talked to any of the other neighbors. Like, I'm home more than she is. But anyway, so that had like left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, oh, God, what was that about? You know what I mean? It's like, seriously, she might have just had a bad day. Maybe she's not a morning person. Maybe she was forced to do some gardening in the morning. I don't know what it was, but it was very weird. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Went about my business. You know, a couple weeks later, there was this volleyball that ended up in my backyard. I'm like, the fuck did this come from? And it said East on it. And now they think about it, I think I know where that fucking ball came from. Anyway, I threw it over to their yard because I knew they had kids. They have a pool. I assumed they were. It was actually, yeah, it was a volleyball. It could have been like a water polo or something, right? So I just tossed it over.
Is your neighbor Wilson?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't even think it was a cheaper one. It was
Yeah.
so later that day, I was doing some yard work or something like that, and it was on Saturday because it looked like he was going out, but he had the guy had come over, and he was carrying the ball. He said, "Hey, is this your ball?" I go, "You know what? I actually thought it was yours,"
Yeah.
and I tossed it. I was like, "Oh no, that's not mine." But he seemed a little bit more friendly, but
Mhm.
not a hell of a lot. And I was like, "Oh, I'll take it." You know what I mean? I just took it back there for the dogs. Didn't think anything of it. And then, that's when I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give them my books, all of them. Only because, they brought over lemons. It's just like the neighborly thing to do. Wrote a little note. And I had went and rung the doorbell. His truck wasn't there, but their family car was there. Nobody answered. So I went once, and then I went the second time, and they weren't there. And I'm like, or didn't answer at least. Somebody might have been there. So I left the books with the note, and that was it. Never heard anything. Like not even come by. Oh, thank you for this. That it was nothing. Like who knows? Maybe somebody stole those fucking books and they never got it. But I never heard anything. But I had one more interaction with both of them. I had went out maybe a week later. Again, I was doing some stuff in the garage. I was passing by, and she was outside with some kids, and she saw me. I was looking through the back gate, and I was dumping some trash, and she went like this, right? And so I went and I dumped my trash, and that was the last time I've seen her. You know what I mean? But I know she's there. But I got this feeling like. And by the way, I saw him maybe once or twice. Like it seemed like every time I mowed my lawn, he would go out there and mow his lawn. It's like he was like competing with me. You know what I mean? Like he was trying to keep up with the Joneses or what his yard can't be look better than mine. Maybe it was just my mind playing tricks on me. Like I just felt like it might have been him. Like he's got some kind of problem with me. I also told Naomi that it almost seems like she never comes out. She hasn't been social. She hasn't been, it's almost like I wonder if this guy is like a domineering kind of husband. You know what I mean? Like you better not talk to those neighbors or, you know what I mean? You just never know. But I get a very bad vibe from this guy. You know what I mean? She seemed sweet. She seemed nice, but very reserved. Like they keep to themselves. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're religious.
Those are the best neighbors, man. Like I wouldn't even think anything of it. Like if you just
Oh,
left me the fuck alone, we're good.
okay, so he did come by last week. He asked if he wanted to make some repairs to his fence, which is
Hmm.
on that side. I'm like, yeah, knock yourself out. Let me make sure the dogs are in. Put the dogs in, and I know his name, and I said, are you all done? He's like, yeah. He went like that, but you can just tell certain people you just can't vibe with. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
but I get such a bad feeling from this guy. And I don't know, maybe it's just because he's just not a people person or I'm just not his people. Maybe it's like I'm too white for him because, maybe he's a paisa from somebody and he only
Hmm.
clicks with a certain amount of people. But um, the wife thing, I want to know, like, she was nice and then she wasn't nice. She was nice. And this guy is just like even kill, like just serious, doesn't even smile. It was just it. I have a very bad vibe from them, and it's a huge contrast from the reception I'm getting all the way around. My other neighbors, even the guy two doors down, is an old dude named Robert, and he sits there on this chair, one of those walkers that you could sit on. Fucker's always out there, and he's talking to different. I went over there one day and introduced myself. We had a long conversation. He was like, "You like sago palms? I can get you sago palms." He's a real nice dude, real personable. But I don't know if I'll ever, I don't know, have any kind of relationship with this guy because he just gives me such an ugly feeling. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that guy is holding back on something. You know what I mean? Like serial killer vibes or something. It's just one of those things that kind of tugs at me because I know he has kids. They're out in the back. They're not very loud, but I know they're back there. You know, and you never see them come out hardly. They're kind of stealthy. They go and they just keep to themselves, and it's just a very weird kind of family dynamic. So now you're out of beer. I guess we better close shop.
No, it's not that. I was looking at the sticker right now when I was drinking, and it says China in made.
Fucking Chinese.
$15, guys, if you're interested there.
Well, I think we only have two more, and we got one for Kat.
Yeah.
We're not charging her, by the way. Anyway, but yeah, I wanted to bring that up. It's like, you ever had any like weird kind of situations with your neighbors like that?
Honestly,
I don't know what it doesn't really. I'm not that guy. I'm not that fucking guy that looks out the window and always looking to see what's going on. It was just the interactions that I had that kind of it left a bad taste in my mouth.
It's kind of funny, dude, because like I'm probably your neighbor. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'll be friendly, I'll wave. It's just that thing where I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk. You could have just brought me canned goods. You brought me fucking books, bro. Make a pie.
Well, I even put in the note like, you don't have to read them. Pass them on.
No, you're like from the Ace Night podcast.
Yeah, give this. I didn't even bring that up.
That's where you went wrong.
Yeah, I won't even bring that up. Like I said, I only promote it to the people I feel like have a little bit of a
people that are not going to call the authorities on us. So
sorry about that.
No, it's like my neighbors when they moved in. I'm sitting in the garage. I'm having a drink. I'm having a cigar. And they were Niner fans, and I had some stuff up. And it was like, fucking October or whatever. So football season, right? And so I met them, and since then, we've hit it off or whatever. And they've been nice people. When I moved in, there was a teacher. She was like just by herself. She was a, nice lady. She kept to herself, waved or whatever. And that's the extent of like how much I want to fucking know the people that are around me. There were on the other side of her, there was like a black family. They were super cool, kept to themselves, waved, said, just be friendly or whatever. After they moved out, like these Indian people moved in and they were like, you know what? When you're not home, I'm parking in front of your fucking like door, your front door, not even your fucking driveway, not in your parking spot. Like I'm going to do whatever I can to irritate you. And so sure enough, there I am on the fucking phone with Xfinity. Finally, I knock on the door. I'm like, hey, let's just hang up. Let's talk. And so, it's to that point where like I try to set these fucking boundaries with people. Like I was like, I'm gonna set these boundaries. Like this is who I am. This is what I do. I'm gonna wave to you. I'm gonna be friendly. I'm gonna be nice. I don't want to be involved with you. Like my neighbor who right next to me that they're super nice people. The whole family. I've known them since I've been here. Talk to them all the time. Football season. It's nice outside, right? Mm-hmm. Go out there, bring the grill out. Fucking, we're out. Our garage doors are open. We're fucking all his family. Everybody's just out, dude. Everyone's having a good time. The more people show up, we'll have a whole fucking setup or whatever. And that's just that. Like I've never, like I don't get involved with too many people, and they've always been cool. Everyone else, just do the wave. I did have like this one white lady that was across the way. She was kind of hippie-ish or whatever. She came over. It was Father's Day. My neighbor Robert, he was celebrating Father's Day a few years ago. And, they had their music on. And so she came over. She spoke a little Spanish. She lived in Florida. Very, like, fucking hippie-like, very liberal, and whatever. That doesn't mean shit, right? But her thing was, like, I am going to go to you and say, hey, you guys were being a little noisy. I didn't call the office and complain. In which I can respect that. You went straight to the people. You fucking let them know, like, you have a chance to fix this. I'm not making a complaint on you. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm just saying, hey, man, like, can you turn it down? Excuse me. And so then that happened. But then I'd be out there in the garage smoking a cigar. And I'm like, you wave. Like, I don't want fucking people coming over. I don't want people coming in. Like, I don't want to fucking, like, chit-chat with you. Like, just because I'm sitting out here. Since then, they've let Section 8 in. I had this one guy who would come over and, hey, my auntie passed away and blah, blah, blah. I was like, hey, man, fucking hand him a beer. And then so later on, he thought that was just like, you fed the cat. And so he comes over and I'm sitting there, I'm smoking a cigar, I'm drinking a beer or whatever. Hey, man, can I get a beer? I'm like, that's when I was like, no, dude, you can't. You need to get the fuck out of here. Like, this isn't a fucking soup kitchen, first of all. Like, I don't even know you. You told me some fucking story and I entertained you for a little bit. But you don't just come over and be like, hey, he fucking led with, hey, can I get a beer? And it's just that fucking, like, idea that you just, like, you try to be nice, and then next thing you know, they're, like, fucking expecting shit. And that's what I got from these people that, this one dude that comes over, like, whatever, dude, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to deal with you. Like, the fact that I'm out here doesn't mean that I want to fucking interact with you. It just means I'm just trying to fucking enjoy my evening. Right. And that was the same thing with that white lady across the way. She was like, every time, like, after she came and told my neighbor they were being too fucking noisy, she wanted to come over and fucking talk and tell a story. I was like, hey, go. Like, I'm fucking, like, this isn't an invitation to fucking hang out. Like, I'm just doing my own thing. You do you. I'll wave from a distance. That's it. That doesn't mean I want to fucking have a conversation. And I think that maybe I'm your neighbor. And it's not that I'm being mean, because I'll wave back and I'll say, hey, good morning or whatever.
Here's the difference. I wouldn't even get a smile. Not a wave, nothing. And I don't want anybody to get it twisted. I'm not looking to fucking suck this guy's dick or swap spit with anybody. I'm just like, I get a weird feeling from this guy. And I think, it's none of my fucking business, obviously. That's their house. Yeah. Whatever they do. But I feel like there's something sour going on. Like, this guy, I think he's like a on the level piece of shit. Well, but I'm not going to pursue anything.
If he invites you to camp, don't go.
No, it ain't happening. I know my boundaries. I just think it was odd. The feeling, I'm getting negative juju off this guy.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the point I was trying to make. It's like, if we never talk again, fine. But it's like, this guy was giving off such a fucking, like, the anti to me. You know what I mean? It was just bizarre. And I know there's something crooked going on in that house, but, I can't do anything about it, unfortunately.
So, but now you know. So be like, fuck him.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I am. And, I'll wave if they wave. I'll talk if they talk. But obviously, I know there's a threshold there that I just hope we don't have problems later on down the road. You know what I mean? And then I'm not going to do that. Hey, can I get a beer? You know what I mean? I'm not going to cross. I'm not going to. Yeah. I gave them books. I didn't hear shit about it. They ain't going to get shit else from me. You know what I mean? Because that was like, that was like $75 worth of books right there. No, I'm kidding. But
you signed them?
Yeah. No, I think I did. They probably, who knows? They probably dropped them off at fucking Goodwill as far as I know.
This fucking douchebag, he signed these books.
and maybe that was a deciding factor. Yeah. Like, this guy is just, he's weird. He's giving me books. Well, sorry. You gave me fucking lemons.
Yeah, you fucking nerd. Hey, you know what though? You're the one that's in the wrong here, dude. You're like, you fucking nerd, you gave me books, but when life gives you lemons.
Yeah. Oh, I turned it into Corona.
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought it was odd. I wanted to share that story. And they're not very neighborly. That's all I got to say. Like I said, it's a huge contrast because everywhere else around, They've been pretty cool. And it's like I haven't had another interaction with that Robert guy or the guy across the street. I've only talked to the
Do you have
guys.
a Robert too?
Yeah, he's the one that sits down
Oh, nice.
and talks with everybody. And he knows everything that's going. He knew that the house that I'm living in had like 3 other people in the last 2 years. Had three different
There's
people
like
living.
5 people died there.
Yeah.
Bring
I
it
should
back.
I
Yeah,
should
yeah.
have fucking asked him. But because he seemed like he's been there for 35 years, so
Oh, shit,
he
yeah.
knows the neighborhood. But he seemed genuinely grateful, and he could never remember my name. It's like it's always Paul, or Jay or whatever. Like I'll pass by, I'll see him, I'll honk, and he'll say like Paul, Jay,
Which
never
neighbor-
JP.
Which neighbor is this?
He's 2 doors down
Oh, okay.
on the west side of me.
Okay.
The opposite of the other side of the people are going to share the fence with me.
Well, you need to make neighbors with the guy who's directly across from you because that VW bus.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
We really didn't chop it up that much. There's a lot of activity. I mean, I think that he's got a big household across the street because there's like 5 or 6 cars. Only 2 of them run. So
Yeah.
and my wife was fucking in awe about the little paisa that went up and chopped up all the palms. They got these 2 palm trees directly in front of us across the street, and they're like tall. They're like Beverly Hills palms, and they're super tall. And she was cracked up. This fucking little paisa went up and then came right back
Well,
down.
Robert sold it to them.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and then they fucking over the 35 years. That's how fucking tall
Yeah.
they got, dude. Yeah.
But what, overall, it's like my neighbors are cool. It's peaceful, besides the fucking Edgar walking down the street at 6 a.m. rapping. But I don't really have a problem with the people next to me. They keep their house nice. They cut down a lot of fucking trees. They have a problem with trees apparently because they've been cutting shit down. But to each his own. They keep their yard clean. And they're so fucking quiet. It's like I think they have like a couple kids, and they don't scream.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing, but I'm wondering what kind of fucking iron fist this guy has. He gives me the fucking creep. So, I just don't I hope we don't have a problem later on down the road, but I'm keeping my business away from them, and probably vice versa.
I'm going to say try it one more time. Just take them some coasters.
I don't think so. I didn't even want to promote that.
All right,
just
next
because
time I'm there, I'll leave them.
Because maybe it's like one of those iron fist, heavy religious thing, and they probably looked at my books and were like, "Oh no, this guy's the devil." You know what I mean? They could be looking at me. He could be getting a bad vibe from me. I don't know. I just thought it was a weird story, and I thought I wanted to share it. But who knows? It's all about perception. He could be thinking the same thing about me.
Yeah.
Because Naomi never comes out. She goes to the backyard, but she's never out and about. And I don't see his wife, and he doesn't see mine.
Well, yeah, I mean, that could just be it. And he's like, you know what? This fucking guy lives next to me. Like, I don't even want to share my podcast with him. He's probably a pervert. He's probably going to be like, hey, can your kids come into my bed? Like, that shit ain't happening here unless I get jewelry.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. It is all about perception, but I got a fucking bad feeling about
Watch,
this
you
guy.
guys are going to be like fucking best friends pretty soon, watch.
Yeah.
That's how it always starts. Dude.
You
Like,
never
the
know.
people
It's
you
like,
don't even like.
it's not like
You're going to end up being fucking best friends.
It's not like I've always had a great judge of character. I've been wrong in the past, but when you get like when you see somebody, you talk with them, and then you get this fucking weird feeling. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I'm trusting my instincts on this one. There's something wrong with that guy.
You have anything else?
No, I'm gonna save the rest for tomorrow. I do have a shout out though.
Do you?
Yeah. Her name's Shannon. It was Shannon Rodriguez when I met her like 15 years ago. It's Shannon Gonzalez now. She's remarried. She seems very happy. I haven't seen her in a long time. I haven't seen her since Seahawks beat the Denver Broncos. What was that? 2014? 2013?
It was a minute ago.
Whatever it was, because she came to my house, and I had come across some pictures on my memories, and there's a picture of her and Roman when we met up with a bunch of friends at Logan's. Remember Logan's
Yeah,
Steakhouse?
yeah.
We had met up
Now
there,
it's
and she
Canes.
is it? Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. I still haven't had that place.
No, it's not good.
But anyway, I have a picture of her holding Roman, and there's actually a couple pictures of her holding Roman. I don't know where the other one is.
Let's wrap this up or take a break because I got to pee.
Go. Let's take a break.
Let's take a
I
break.
want
Yeah.
to finish this
Yeah,
shot
no,
up.
all right.
All right. Be back.
No, be back.
Oh.
Oh. And we're back.
Yes, we are.
I had to pee.
Yeah, and I haven't had to pee. That's
I
crazy.
know, man. Are you okay?
That's cray. I don't know. Maybe a couple more beers. We'll see what happens. Anyway, back to Shannon. So anyway, I came across these, a couple pictures. One was of her and Roman. One was of me and her. And I believe the one of me and her was not my birthday. I know she attended my birthday at, remember when Fat Boys was over on Bullard and whatever the fuck?
Marks.
Yeah. Okay. So Fat Boy's not there, but I've been there a couple times. So there was a birthday party of her and Paul Goosen. I think they were friends at one time. I don't know if they're still friends. Me and Paul aren't, but
Really?
no, I haven't talked to that guy in a while. That's a long story, and fuck him and his business. But anyway, so they had this birthday party at Fat Boys, and her and I became fairly good friends on Facebook, and we met up a couple times. Beautiful girl, she's a sweetheart, very lively. She's got this smile that's just she's an awesome person. Anyway, she always showed Roman nothing but love, so I always appreciated her. So I've had like 3 Facebooks, and
This year.
yeah, the last time I had switched up, we just linked up recently on this Facebook. But she's been liking my stuff, and I've been liking her stuff, and she seems very happy, and I'm glad. It seems like she's because I know she's like everybody else had some fucking relationship issues, just like me and whatever. But she's with somebody, and she seems very happy, and so I was like really happy for her because she's a great person. So I had these pictures, and I sent them, and I was like, oh, like it brought back good memories hanging out with her and stuff. And she sent me a message saying something like, oh, we were so young, whatever. Anyway, she had sent back another message and said, by the way, your podcast is funny. And that you and I have, pretty much paraphrasing here, we have good chemistry.
Oh, nice.
So she gave me a shout out there, well, directly. So I'm giving her a shout out via the podcast. I appreciate you, Shannon. Thank you for listening. But don't just listen. You got to like, share, and subscribe. Whether you watch religiously or not, at least do those for us.
Yeah, no, definitely subscribe.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but thank you.
Yeah. So I remember, back when or whatever, when you mentioned the name, I think, and I might be wrong, but I think we went. I mean, actually, me and Shannon went to middle school together. Like, I'm not 100%, but I think we both went to Tehipity.
Shannon, if you went to Tehipity, make sure you
like,
comment.
share. No, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You don't even have to comment. I just want you to like, share, and
Oh,
subscribe.
okay. Well, at least comment or send me a message.
I
or
think,
something.
definitely reach out to JP. So where I was living, here's the thing: I lost a lot of friends because I was supposed to go to Fresno High because of where I lived, but I ended up going to McLean, and so like the majority of the people that were in middle school with me ended up going, the other direction, and so I didn't see people anymore after that.
So you were a Highlander?
I was a Highlander.
I'll be down.
Yeah.
It's my neck of the woods.
Yeah. Well, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so that was the thing. I was like, okay, when I saw on Facebook, and it was a while back, but I remembered the name. It sounded familiar. I want to say I went to middle school with her.
I'm not 100% certain, but it seems to me like I remember I think she went to Fresno High for a split second, and then to another high school. Shannon, if I'm getting it wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know where else she went to school, but I met her through common acquaintances.
Yeah.
So, but we hit it off.
Well, all around the same age, yeah, that's bound to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll meet people, and we come from a time where there wasn't that many high schools back. I mean, it was there wasn't like Buchanan. I mean, there was a Clovis West, and then the rest of them were like
and
the
there were
five.
cunts.
Well, the five like Fresno high schools or whatever. There was, Central was out there, but nobody ever knew people that were. It was like a fucking farm school. Central West wasn't a thing or whatever they are now, and it was like Fresno High, Roosevelt, Bullard, Hoover, and McLean.
Yeah,
and that was it.
And don't forget about Central, not Central East, but there was one Central at the time. Because Fresno had certain rivalries depending on what fucking street you lived on, but I just remember being, in high school, like Bullard was number one cunt to us. And then anybody from Clovis, like Clovis and Clovis West.
Well, Bullard and Hoover had the whole Barstow thing.
Right. And then Fresno High and Bullard had the Palm thing. Was it Palm?
Yeah, because they're both off of...
Yeah.
And then, what do you call it? Both McLean and Roosevelt had the Cedar thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. I mean, there was rivalries all over the place, but you're right. There was only a handful of schools, but now it's like what's this fucking Garza High School? Where's that one at? I just saw that recently. I know at least a couple have popped up.
Yeah, Sunnyside wasn't a thing.
I just remember Edison having fucking 30-year-old men playing football.
Shit, I forgot.
Every one of them had Jerry curls and fucking beards.
Well, these were the Icky Woods years, to be fair. Yeah.
It's like we'd show up. I mean, I stopped playing football my sophomore year, and I think I didn't even make it to regular season because I hurt my knee. But I remember in freshman high school, we showed up to play other freshman teams, and we played against Edison. There was just like a bunch of fucking grown men, looked like fucking was it fucking John Coffey? You know what I'm talking about? I was like, fuck, what are they fucking feeding these motherfuckers?
Oh, man. It was like, okay, so it was either Edison or like all the farm team. Like, if they were like out in the fucking middle of nowhere, it was like all those corn-fed people that were like fucking... Dude, they looked like they were like living near the power plant kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Everybody was like a lot bigger and looked like grown-ups. Like, you had to show respect when you played these teams. You're like, hey, Mr. Whoever.
I must have grew up on estrogen.
on low T.
Like, I never had testosterone, apparently. Yeah. But anyway, shout out to Shannon. Thank you so much. I hope you're listening. I hope you become a regular listener because she's a sweet girl, man. Love her to death. Appreciate you.
Yeah, right on, man. Well,
you got any shout outs?
Let's see.
Fuck them till tomorrow.
No. Yeah.
Make the noise.
Yeah, no, we just lost our listeners.
All right. All right, guys. So we're going to close up shop because we're coming back tomorrow to record.
So this one will be out a regular schedule. Today is Monday. Normally our Monday shows will come out on Wednesday. You'll see it on Wednesday, so you're not missing anything. Tomorrow I will upload on Friday just so that way we're not having them too close together.
Yeah, even numbers.
Yeah, and then after that we'll go back to once a week. Happy birthday, Ace and I podcast.
July 1st.
July 1st. And you got a big trip coming up, and it sounds like a lot of fun. I'm sure you'll have some stories to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Like, fucking Mario broke his ice chest.
I just bought that motherfucker.
I just fucking fixed it. Anyway.
All right, guys.
Good times, buddy.
Yeah. We love you. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time. Ace and I Podcast.
Out.